We modern Christians should be careful when we look back at the primitive church, not to go to certain extremes, like a negative or positive. Negatively, we might say, look at Peter. He was just impulsive, always acted before he thought. Yet he is the man who preached the first sermon by which thousands of people entered the church. He also gave it direction and care for the first couple of years, even when the Gentiles turned to come in and all these difficulties happened, as we see in Acts chapter 15. He gave it order and direction. But yes, at the same time, he needed to be rebuked by Paul. Well, like I said, it could be extremely positive. We say the church, they shared everything. Nobody had need. Except 2 chapters later, we see that the Hellenistic widows were being forgotten, and it caused some stir. We see Paul writing to churches like Corinth and telling them, don't forget to be generous. And actually, when we realize that most of Paul's epistles are actually written to correct error, we see that, no, the primitive church wasn't perfectly good, or perfectly evil either. It was just in the middle. Now, I say all this because nowadays we use that same kind of focus and look at our modern church. We go to one extreme or the other. Look at the people who are given over to the Spirit and they experience a bunch of stuff and they hear voices and we say they're exaggerating. But then we have the other side that says, well, you don't experience anything. You don't let the Spirit lead you. You're quenching the Spirit. See, it's those extremes that are not helpful. We need to have that balance and right view of things. We need to see it in the perspective of fallen humans, imperfections, and an effort to walk that middle line, that path of Christ. So let's have that fair and balanced view when we look at the church, both from the past and the present.